Today is all about upgrading. So what do I mean about upgrading? Well, I'm talking about trading in your residential rentals, your single family homes, into commercial property. But before we get into it, can you hit subscribe on my channel? Smash that like button. That would be awesome if you could do that. Thanks so much. So why trade up from your residential rentals into commercial property? Well, it's about a couple things. It's about financial freedom and it's about building generational wealth. Who wouldn't want to just quit working altogether or only work because you love what you do and you're not dependent on that income? Well, I know I would, and I can share with you a little bit about upgrading from your single family homes and getting into commercial property where you're really going to start building more financial freedom and even better generational wealth that you can pass along to your kids and your family. So do you currently own residential rentals? Do you want to know how to upgrade into commercial property? If so, this is the video for you. I've spent the last 20 years helping clients exactly do this. Stop making other people wealthy and stop the 9-to-5 grind. What I found over the years is most people who own investment properties, they own one, and it's typically a single family home. And when I talk to them, they kind of get afraid of getting another property or even exchanging into commercial property. There's a little bit of intimidation factor there going from a single family into a 5, 10, or 20 unit apartment building. Or maybe you want to get into an office building. Maybe dealing with housing is not your thing, or even retail. So there's typically a little bit of intimidation there. There's a few hurdles that they need to overcome. They know how to deal with that fear, and knowledge is going to be the key to getting into wealth building. So let's take a look at commercial versus single family homes, or what I consider residential properties, 2 to 4 units. So typically commercial properties will cash flow better and it's more stable. So if I have a 10 unit building and one tenant moves out, I don't have to worry about paying my mortgage. It's going to be paid for. In fact, I might even still get some cash flow from that property. So I personally own a 30 unit building and a 48 unit building. And if one of my tenants move out, I'm still collecting cash every month on that property, even sometimes when I rehab, because I have reserves to rehab those units, depending on how deep I need to go and how long that tenant's lived there. With that cash flow, you can eventually quit your day job. Or like I said earlier, if you just love your job, you can do it for fun and you don't have that stress of living paycheck to paycheck. Now with commercial property, the value is going to be based more off the income. So you have more control over how your property is going to appreciate. So if you acquire a property with substandard rents that are 10, 12, 15% or more below market value, and you're able to get those rents up to market value, then you've just increased your property's overall value as well. As we move forward in this pandemic, we've learned that not everyone needs a place to work, but they all need a place to live. One great commercial property is all it takes. Now, I know a lot of wealthy people, and I've been in this business a long time, and I can tell you most of them own commercial property. They don't own single family homes. All right, well, let's get into the process on how to upgrade. What does that look like? Well, the first thing is always, whatever we do, we want to get educated on it. Understand your market. We want to make educated decisions. Get help. Now, maybe with a single family home, you can do it kind of on your own and you can do a lot of Google searches, but as we get into commercial property, you want to build a team. You want to have that real estate advisor, you want to have a great CPA, you want to have a great real estate attorney, and you want to have great vendors as well. When we've built our team and we've educated ourselves on our market, we are adding to our knowledge. So all of this will lead to help us make more educated decisions as we move forward into commercial property. Number 2, you want to understand your money. Now, if you own a single family home, we need to understand how much equity we have in there so we know how much buying power that you have and how we can reposition that for more appreciation, more cash flow, more equity buildup, and more tax shelter. Maybe you have additional funds that you want to add to it from stocks or from savings or refinancing another property. Or maybe you want to take advantage of a 1031 tax-deferred exchange. This is one of the most powerful wealth building tools that the IRS gives us. We can take all of our equity from our last property minus cost of sale and transfer it into a new property 100% tax-free. It's called a 1031 tax-deferred exchange. And we're going to get into that a little bit more down the road in another video. And I'll explain everything there is. There's some tight guidelines, but there's also some tricks that I've used over the last 20 years to kind of build in some extensions in those timelines to make it a little bit more comfortable for people to exchange from residential properties into commercial properties. So number 3, this is really important, deciding on what type of property you want to invest into. Could be multifamily, could be retail, could be office, could be storage units. For me, personally, I love multifamily. I love every aspect of it. I love how involved I can be or not involved I can be with my management personnel in place. Now, my family, we own quite a substantial portfolio. It's almost pushing 900 apartment units, and we have a full team and systems in place, and this is our niche. Now, the reason I'm saying that is you need to focus on one property type and really learn and understand that and master that property type. We focus on multifamily. I am not a retail investor and I am not an office investor. Okay, number 4, we've hit on this a little bit earlier, but building your team. This is super critical. So from your real estate advisor to your attorney, to your CPA, to even property management, your team is going to be your highest influence. This is very critical to get the smartest people and the people behind you to help guide you through this process, help you build that generational wealth and financial freedom. So number 5, this is the biggest step of all, taking action. So you need to sell your current rentals, put them on the market, get them ready to go. The next, now that you've built your team, you've researched your market, you've analyzed your properties that you're looking at, it's time to make offers and commit to this process. Guys, don't be afraid. So if you take on a 5 or 10 unit building, it's not like buying 5 or 10 houses. It's all together at one. You have all these tenants in place. In fact, once you get your first one under your belt, you're going to go, why didn't I do this sooner? All right, guys, so that's it. 5 steps for you. It's not necessarily simple or easy, but it is doable. And once you get your first one under your belt, you're going to wonder, why didn't I do this sooner? So if you have any questions or if there's anything I can help you with, I'm always happy to chat with you. My contact information is in the description, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Have an awesome day.